But I sent her the new link too, so
Oh, okay.
hopefully that works. All
All
right,
right.
so we
So
can keep talking.
yeah.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, so the first question is summarize how the health belief model works.
Okay.
So, isn't oh, was that Stephanie?
I'm not sure. Nope. All right, so my understanding is the health belief model works in finding how people perceive how this supposed like intervention is going to help them. So they have, you know, the perceived susceptibility to the health risk, perceived severity, perceived benefits and barriers, cues to action, and self-efficacy that all kind of tie into how they believe this is going to benefit them overall, basically,
And in
Uh-huh.
order
or
for
not
them
benefit them.
yeah, and in order for them to actually act and like change their health behavior,
Hmm.
they have to have those beliefs beforehand.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
think that's the
Right.
whole premise of the model.
Yeah.
It all depends on how badly they want it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the second question, discuss the processes and how they relate to the stages of the model.
By processes, is it supposed to mean like the constructs? Or?
I think so.
See, that's what I was confused about. I was like, what?
I think and it was funny because in the PowerPoint it called it constructs or concepts, and then the book calls it constructs, and then here it's calling it processes. So
Yeah. So is that just like explaining what each one means, or
I think so, and how
okay.
they relate to it.
So
Okay.
perceived susceptibility is asking the person like, do you think you're at risk for this health issue? And
Hmm.
kind of a continuum of how susceptible they believe they are to it.
Yeah. And then perceived severity is how they think, like, the seriousness of contracting the illness, or if they leave it untreated, you know, how bad it can actually get.
Right.
Yeah, I got perceived benefits. So what benefits you receive from either stopping or beginning a behavior.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Are you looking at the health belief model?
So I have like lesson 7 readings open, and that's where that is on that PowerPoint.
Mm.
And so that's where that is. But
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was. I
so
just read the PowerPoint.
Yeah.
So the next one is perceived barriers, so like how they feel like negative outcomes from completing that action, maybe the negative things that can come from that.
Well,
Hey, Grandpa. My
are
grandpa's home. Good. Grandma went to Marilee and Ryan's house to take care of Brody.
shit with Brody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to finish this group meeting, and then she said we can call her and figure out dinner if we want. Okay.
So I
I'm
think
seeing
we're
my
on
friend
cues to
Hannah
act.
Yeah,
my
cues to act.
internship.
So that's whatever motivates us to act. So it can be like something that we see, or it can be other people encouraging us, at least from what I interpreted.
Yeah, that's what I got from it too.
Yeah, it might be like some event in your own life that
Right.
causes you to like want to make a change.
hmm And then the last one is self-efficacy, which is their belief in their ability to change their behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kind of intervention centered on the processes move people through the stages?
I think health education would play an important role for a few of these.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, with heart disease, a lot of women who are middle-aged don't realize they actually have quite a high risk for heart disease because it's usually considered to be like a man issue. So, like, just educating people on that can help them to realize like they're at risk
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
heart disease.
I think that like ecological model also can apply, especially to those first few, like their perceived susceptibility and severity, and like I think those really depend on their previous beliefs, based on their own ecological system on all those levels.
Yeah.
I know in the reading it talked about like applications for each of these like constructs.
Uh-huh.
So, like for perceived benefits, you can define the action to take, you can identify how, where, and when, and then clarify the positive effects that can be expected after they complete that action. Cues to action, you could provide how-to info, promote awareness, and use appropriate reminder systems.
I feel like focus groups could work.
Right.
Some of them too, just to have that. Oh, sorry, my dogs are working. But focus, bring that positivity to someone else who doesn't really, who is new to like an illness or things like that. Like it could work for the. I think it worked for a few of them, for a few of the constructs.
Yeah.
Just having those people to talk to and hear what they're going through and whatnot.
Okay. All right. So should we move on to part 2?
Yeah.
I
right.
have to go, but
Okay, sorry.
hopefully you guys can get through it without me. But
Okay, and I'll post the link. I don't know what happened last week when I posted the link, like right after we were done. It just gave me a green check, and then it wasn't there on Saturday. So I'm glad I rechecked and posted it again. But
okay,
I think
thanks,
the
guys.
teacher. Yeah, I think the teacher like deleted all of those ones because I noticed like there were some other posts on there that weren't there
yeah.
later on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't think it was anything you did.
No, I was like, I could have sworn I posted it. Like I saw it this morning, but anyways, okay. So part 2, underage youth. This is scenario discussion. Underage youth get tattoos either to rebel against their parents or to be accepted by peers. As a health educator, you have to put aside your own personal feelings about the circumstances in order to work with the target population. Read and discuss the following quote. Peer and parental influences compete and often conflict. As youth approach early adulthood, they decide upon ways they wish to present themselves to others and count the cost of doing so by gauging the reactions they get. Attendant to this process is psychological rewards. For example, the choice between acceptance by peers and rejection by parents and other authority figures factors into the decision-making process for behavior in general. We imagine this to be more consequential when individuals contemplate getting something as permanent as a tattoo. So, what is the behavior behind tattooing?
So it's like the want of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And then the also kind of, I think it like deals with like the independence too of from their parents.
Yeah.
Like it talks about rebel.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's necessarily like being a rebel. I think a lot of it is, trying to have that independence.
Yeah.
Yeah, just I mean from like the little quote set, so it's just like basically they weigh acceptance by peers versus rejection by parents, and they're like, well, I'd rather be accepted by my peers, and then that leads to the behavior.
Yeah. And I think, like, just to tie into, like, the belief model, like, they believe at that time in their life that that's what's most important, is that acceptance by peers. And so they're gauging those choices, and that's what's most important to them. And so that's where their beliefs lie.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Okay. So then part 3 is the application assignment prep. So I don't know if you guys looked at the application assignments yet.
Have it open.
I haven't.
Yeah, I just opened it.
It's an individual assignment, so it just says apply the principles outlined in the health behavioral change framework and the health belief model with adolescents at risk / likelihood of being tattooed, interested in tattoos, or obtaining a tattoo as you complete the application assignment worksheet. And then you just type your answers into the document. And I guess we can work on this together.
But we each submit our
what
own
it
copy.
said, but we each need our own copy. But
Okay.
I think it takes quite a while, like from what I was reading. So I don't know if we just want to go over like a few of them and then do the rest on our own, or I don't know what you guys want to do. I'll have to leave here in like 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, I have to leave pretty soon too.
I do too, so.
Well, we did an overview of the health belief model already, talked about that, so I think we can all do that on our own. And I guess we can just maybe start on this box in number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess we have to figure out an intervention for each of the constructs.
Based on the young kids getting tattoos, interested in tattoos, or obtaining a tattoo.
Okay.
So that would be the first thing, the target population is adolescents. Adolescents at risk, all that stuff then?
Yeah. At risk, or likelihood of being tattooed.
Stopped again.
Was that Stephanie? Oh, I don't know if she can hear us.
She's very slow on the computer. She's moving slow, that's what I mean,
Yeah. Oh, and she's gone.
I did.
Okay. Okay, so for perceived susceptibility, the intervention. Does anyone have any ideas? I need to go back to my notes.
Yeah. So, what kind of health problems could arise from getting a tattoo? I mean, lots of tattoo parlors are like really good in like taking care of their needles and such.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in jail or something, in prison, like getting a tattoo where it's like unsanitary and stuff.
Right. Let's see. So infection is one of the biggest one. Hepatitis, HIV, allergies. I think like a lot of kids probably they wouldn't have any idea that they were allergic to it, not just being young and not having done anything like that before. Scarring, inflammation.
Okay.
Maybe, I'm gonna look here.
So, what are the individual interventions? So, like, are we just choosing a intervention strategy, or are we choosing like this is what we're gonna do? I mean,
I don't think it has to be like too much in depth. I think just like a strategy and maybe like a short description and then how we would expect it to impact them. So maybe what do you think? Like a pamphlet or a flyer?
Yeah.
I mean, they are adolescents, so we control them. We can, like, it can be in class and stuff. They have to go to school, like.
Right, like as part of a health class.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good idea.
As part of the health class, or like just like I don't know, yeah, because most like high schoolers have to take a health class or a PE class or something like that.
So maybe like a health class focus group.
Or having like someone come in and like talk. I just feel like it'd be more of like a health communication strategy than like not health education, because like I feel like health education is more like to empower the person to make good behaviors decisions, and like whereas a health communication strategy would help you make an informed decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what would our expected impact be?
That they're I guess, attitude towards towards tattoos changes, and that they like feel that it is like risking their health, like overall.
Okay.
That they understand at least the risks involved.
Okay. So perceived severity. I think this would kind of go along with the first one. I think like a health communication strategy that like they think that they're not, that these risks aren't as severe as people say. So we could use like another health communication strategy to, explain the consequences of the risks and conditions that they can get. So I don't think some people realize how, like, inflammation or an allergic reaction, like, say, on your arm, could cause you to lose your arm.
Yeah.
Okay. Perceived benefits.
Yeah, so positive things that can come from
Not getting a tattoo. Maybe we could have someone talk about like appearance in like the job force or the career world.
Oh yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Like how people are less willing to hire people with tattoos.
Uh-huh.
So it can affect your, like the amount of jobs you have, your choices later on.
Yeah. I mean, like, even if they have, like, little retail jobs and stuff like that, there's quite a few retail stores that don't want people having tattoos.
Yeah.
I work at Cabela's, and you're not allowed to have any tattoos shown.
Yeah.
And so... Sorry. And so we can talk about how it affects them now.
Yeah.
What kind of strategy or theory do you think that would go under? Do you think that would go under communication or I don't know. I need to go and get my implementation book.
Yeah.
So I can remember all of these ones.
I mean, it could go under communication just because we're talking with them.
Oh, that's true.
Like if we had someone, like if we had like an employer come in and talk to them.
Yeah. I mean, like, it feels like the first four are like all about like communication or education,
Mhm.
and then like the next ones are like, because it's all like the first four, they're all about perception. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you can't, like, how do you change someone's perception? Like, you have to teach them.
Yeah. Okay. Perceived barriers. So I guess the barriers that I could think of for like a high school student, if they wanted it, it would be they wanted acceptance, from their friends or whatever. So maybe we could identify other peers that don't have it and are just as well liked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's kind of a hard one.
Well, barriers again. I mean, you can talk about like jobs. Like, I guess the way I talked about, like, not being have like a as wide of a job market for you because you have a tattoo. Like, that's a barrier. That's more of like a barrier than a.
Okay. And maybe like an incentive type thing, like to modify that behavior and like replace it with something else. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Instead of getting tattoos, you do something else. And not that I can think of anything, but
Yeah, I mean, when people want to get a tattoo, they're gonna get a tattoo. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's just like not that, like, it's just like such a small like thing to everyone. Everyone thinks it's cool,
yeah, it's popular.
And when you say, I mean, people are at our age, you say, oh, but when you get old, it's going to be all flabby and stuff. And they're like, well, I don't plan on living that old, kind of thing. Like,
yeah, there's always an answer.
People that are already in the mindset of like, getting tattoos, they're not going to really care. So, just like.
Yeah. Okay. So cues to action. So this is an external event that motivates a person to act. So I don't know. This is a difficult one because it's not like, it's not like a taboo thing. It's not like smoking or like teen pregnancy, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
widely accepted.
And like, for example, in the PowerPoint that we read, like, the example is getting people to stop smoking.
Mm-hmm.
this thing that we're doing is getting people to not get a tattoo.
Yeah.
Right. They
How,
haven't
like,
already done it.
we want to cue to inaction because we don't want them to act. You know, we want them to like not do anything. It's like
Yeah.
it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make sense in that regard.
Well, maybe this one we could do like a health policy or like enforcement strategy, like just talk about the laws, because that's an external thing that they have no control over. Like, you know, you're not allowed to get a tattoo until you're 18.
Yeah, legally you're not allowed.
Yeah.
So maybe we could do that.
Yeah. Now, I don't know, is it that it's illegal for people to give you tattoos, or is it illegal for adolescents to receive tattoos? Like, you know, can they get fined or like punished in some way if they get a tattoo, or is it the person that gives them the tattoo that's fined and punished?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that's
I
good.
think it's the person that's giving that tattoo, but I think their parents can also get in trouble.
Yeah. So I mean, in that sense, it's almost like you want to focus on not the adolescents, but like the tattoo parlors and like
Mm-hmm.
they're like, you know, hey, look, you give this kid a tattoo, and we find out, you know, here's this fine that you'll get if you do it, and so that's like their cue to action, and that saying no, I'm not going to give you a tattoo because you know if I get caught, or if you don't have permission from your parents, then you know I could lose my business.
Yeah.
Okay. And last one, self-efficacy. I believe in you that you can't get a tattoo.
So, I mean, the belief in their ability to take action.
So
I
maybe.
don't know, this.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I was just thinking, like, somehow, like, build their personal belief that they don't need to be like everyone else,
Yeah.
that they can be individuals and they don't have to have a tattoo to be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's a good point too. And also, I was thinking like I was just reading like applications from the reading where how they use these constructs, and one of them was use progressive goal setting. And I was thinking, well, what's a goal that they could set? Like, oh, I'm not going to go until I'm 18, but that kind of defeats the purpose. So I was thinking maybe they could have a goal instead of getting a tattoo that like maybe costs as much as getting a tattoo, and they can work towards that, and then you know that's something that they're, I guess, like changing what they want. I don't know if that makes sense.
I mean, even saying waiting until you're 18, like saying, hey, like, see if you can wait till you're 18. Like, you know, I believe that you can wait till you're 18 until you get a tattoo, and then like maybe their mindset will change, and like less people will get tattoos. There's always going to be ones that are still going to get tattoos.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
in the end, you know, you've at least helped some people change in the sense that, oh well, no, I don't need a tattoo because they've like.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Just like, oh, wait till you're 18 because when they do turn 18, it's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's not cool anymore. Like, once you're an adult, things aren't cool anymore. It's like.
Well, then you don't have any money because your money's going elsewhere because you're an adult.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like smoking, like I have to say, like, I think everyone I know started smoking before they were 18, and like they're addicted now. You know, they can't quit if they wanted to, basically, because like they're so addicted. You know, they wouldn't want to start now if they had the choice. They wouldn't start now.
Okay.
So what kind of strategy would that be?
Let's see. I'm looking at my little table here. I finally found it. I guess it could go like under health policy strategy or behavior modification activities.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think that
Right
works.
under that one, yeah.
Okay.
What did you guys put for perceived barriers? What kind of strategy? And
I don't have anything for that one either, but I think
don't
that one
either.
could also go for behavioral modification activities. Or maybe even like environmental change. Okay.
yeah.
All right. I'm glad we were finally able to get this done. So I'll post this and then we should be good. Does anybody want to be the group here for next week? Had we decided to go alphabetically?
Yeah,
I think that's what we decided last week, yeah.
By last name or what?
yeah, last name.
Yeah.
So Stephanie's
So,
last
let me
name
see
starts with
here.
a G. What's Michael's last name? Oh, Summer.
Summer.
So then,
Um,
Nathan?
Am I next?
I think so.
yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how to do the hangout on air?
I mean, I did the interviews, so I can figure it out.
Yeah. So the only difference between like a regular hangout and hangout on air is like when you add people, you have to start the call yourself first, and then if you go up to the top with your cursor, you should have like where it has like the leave call and all of that on the very left-hand side. There's invite people,
Okay.
and you just send them that link. You just send that to us, and that should give us ability to enter, and then you can start the broadcast after we get there.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
See you guys next
next week.
You're
We're
gonna
doing it at 6 again, right?
yeah, next 6
Yeah.
Yeah.
6, okay.
Okay. What was
And
your
you're-
question, Nathan?
you're gonna post it on
Yeah, I'll post it.
this page.
Okay.
Okay, sweet.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Have a good week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.